All right, hey, what's going on, everyone? Misha Wilson here. Welcome to part 2 of this email profits mastery behind the scenes training where you're learning directly from John Hostler, our in-house copywriter, how he builds a relationship with our lists, how he promotes to our email lists, and ultimately how he literally rakes in tens of thousands of dollars worth of commissions and sales with our email lists each and every single month like clockwork. So I know you're absolutely gonna love part 2 of this playlist, but with that said, if you missed part 1, please go back and watch part 1 before you go ahead and proceed to part 2 here today. You will get so much more value out of part 2 if you have context and the right perspective going into it through watching part 1. And I don't want you to be confused and kind of unsure of the strategies and tactics shared in this video because you didn't watch part 1. So we're going to leave a link to part 1 directly below in the YouTube description. If you haven't checked it out yet, please go back and check it out first and then go ahead and dive into part 2 here today. And as always, if you get value, don't forget to go ahead and let us know in the comments section below what your biggest takeaway is from this video. And don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell icon notification button so that you're notified when we do more videos just like this. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right in.
Okay, all right. So message number 1, this is going to happen immediately after they opt in. So they see your landing page, they opt in, they're redirected to your bridge page. At the same time, boom, they're on your email list, and then getting message number 1, right? And they're not going to see it probably immediately because they're watching your bridge page and then getting redirected hopefully to the offer page. But this message is going to be there waiting for them at that point, right? Okay. Subject: boom, you're in. Welcome to John Co. Here's where you begin. So you'll see I've got subject and then pre-header. So pre-header is I don't know if every ESP allows you to do it. I know a lot of people on this call are using SendLane, which is great. SendLane allows you to do it. So basically a pre-header is when you're looking at your inbox. Let me see, I got a promo email. So you wouldn't see it here, but if you've got like in your inbox where you have like your subject line left or subject line top and then message to the right or message below it, there's actually a spot where you can put sort of like a little subhead below your subject line. That's called a pre-head. And again, SendLane allows you to use them. I'm sure some of the other ESPs do as well, but they're kind of like a nice little way to help, kind of enhance your subject line in that little box that people are reading when they're, just kind of seeing your subject first versus your message, right? And a lot of it, of course, depends on people's layout, but plenty of people will see it. So I do recommend using them from time to time. Okay. All right. And then of course, Johnco is that's my company that I made up. Okay. So, hey, my name is John Hostler and I'm king of the castle here at Johnco. I just wanted to take a second to congratulate you and welcome you to the family. Joining Johnco is no doubt the best first step you could have taken in your journey towards living a life of financial freedom, totally on your terms. Now that you're in the club and are officially on your way to becoming gainfully unemployed, I want to make sure that I'm giving you all the tools you need to succeed. So with that, here's what you can expect from me each week. And then of course there'd be some bullets, things that they'll get, more things they'll get, even more things that they'll get, right? So this is like letting them know, hey, you're on my list and it's a good thing for you because you're going to get some value from me, right? And one thing I see people often do here, I'm going to be sending you emails. Well, that's not of value, right? Like, honestly, if you tell me you're going to send me emails, immediately I'm going to be like, great. It's what I need, more crap in my inbox. But if you tell me I'm going to get other things and they just happen to be delivered by email, I'm going to be more interested and more open to it, right? So in this area, we want to just kind of talk about, it could be bonuses, training, whatever. Really, this stuff should cost a fortune by itself as it's actionable material that pushes you closer to your goals faster, but it's yours free as thanks for being a valued customer. Cool? Good. Now, here's what you need to do right away to get cooking. It's important you know exactly what's in store for you. So here's a video that explains what we're all about and why we do what we do. And then there would be probably like an image of a video with a play button. So they click that, they could go off to the video. So that would be sort of like And it kind of depends, right? Like in your situation with what you're doing with your funnels, that would probably be, like a video to the offer that you're promoting, right? So the next offer after your bridge page, it's probably that video. Yeah. But if you're doing something different, it could be anything. Okay. But just a little bit more of getting them, into the stuff that you're promoting, the stuff that you're offering. Okay. So next, let's make sure you're getting my emails in your inbox so that you're always in the loop, up to date, and getting the important details you need. For example, over the next few days, you'll be receiving a few gifts from me and my team that are what I like to call Operation Fast Start. So what I did here was, instead of saying, I'm going to send you some bonuses, right? Or I'm going to send you some gifts, I gave it a name. And guess what? It's a, I mean, patting myself on my back and get a little bit about it being like a cool name. I don't know if it's that cool, but it definitely paints a picture, right? So instead of saying, all right, guys, look out for, my bonuses, I'm saying, look out for the Fast Start product, right? And people definitely are going to connect with that. Okay. I mean, who wants to move this stuff at a snail's pace, right? Not me. I want it all and I want it now. So I want to help you get it now too. So here's a quick step-by-step, quick step-by-step on whitelisting me to make sure I hit your inbox and you can get all the goods we talked about. John Coe whitelisting guide, and then here's a link. Now, a lot of times I see people will do all of the whitelisting stuff inside of this email, and that's okay. That works too. I like the idea of sort of putting the whitelist instructions on another page that you can link out to. And here's why. One, because all of those whitelisting instructions takes up a whole bunch of this email, right? And makes it much longer and frankly, harder to get through. If you put it on another page, like it's the same instructions, but just on like its own dedicated page, then it cleans up your email. And additionally though, on that other page, you can also have, you can draw them back into your action. Hey, while you're here, after you're done whitelisting me, click this button to watch the video, right? So you're getting kind of these little micro commitments for people, pulling them through another piece of your sequence, and definitely can draw more clicks to the things that you want to promote. Okay? All right. Simple enough, right? Cool. So that's it for today. I'm psyched to have you on board. And I got to tell you, I'm really looking forward to a long and mutually beneficial relationship. Talk to you tomorrow. Cheers. Here's all my, name stuff. The next few days, P.S., the next few days, you're going to be like a kid in a candy store because I'm going to blow your mind and help you get started on your new life immediately. So keep your eyes on your inbox. All right. So I kind of broke it up and talked to you about some of the finer points on this already. One thing I will just sort of high level reiterate, as you can see, I am not writing a formal stuffy email here, right? Like it's a lot more casual. You get a little bit of my personality in here and the way that I talk and the way that I write. I love to toss in little emojis. These little eye emojis are kind of my favorite. King of the castle is my position here at John Co, right? That's okay. Yeah, it doesn't have to be formal. It doesn't have to follow strict guidelines. Let your people know who you are. And they will definitely, a lot of them, like I said, not everyone's going to love you, but a lot of them will appreciate that. And you're going to get more people that sort of are, similar to you, which is a really good thing when you're selling online. Okay, so this first message did a lot of the things that we kind of already talked about, right? Like it was a welcome and a thank you, set some future expectations about what's going to happen. We talked about the whitelisting, a little bit. We didn't really get into restating the benefits too much, but did talk about what the next steps are and all that jazz, right? So that's message number one. Immediately after they opt in, then comes message number two, which is one day after the welcome email. And that's typically the way that I do these. When people get on your list, because a lot of these people will get on, a gazillion lists, you want to communicate with them early and regularly. That doesn't mean, 7 times a day, but it does mean when they get into your ecosystem, stay in front of them, because otherwise they will forget about you. And then oftentimes, like if you don't email your list for weeks and weeks on end, watch the next time you send an email, watch your spam complaints, because people will be like, what list is this? I have no idea. I don't remember signing up for this. Spam. So communicate frequently. I got to take a drink here. One sec, guys. All right. So message number 2, one day after the welcome email. And again, we did a subject and a pre-header. Operation Fast Start. Here we go. Okay. So basically a reiteration of the stuff I talked about in the previous email with what they're going to get. And this is like indicative to the reader that, hey, yeah, John said I was going to get something cool, and it looks like he's delivering. So, hey, name, John Hostler here, following up as I said I would. I told you I was going to give you the goods, and I meant it 100%. So here I am delivering on that promise to start running you through Operation Fast Start. This material is going to lay the framework for you to begin finally building your own successful online business where you are the boss and you make the rules. But before I do that, I know you already saw my video and peeked behind the curtain of my life a little, but what I didn't tell you is that one of my favorite parts about this whole internet lifestyle of ours is that I get to be home literally every day with my wife, my kids, and all our rescue animals. We are like one animal short of a farm here, I think. Let me show you. This one's a picture of me and my cat, Mew Mew. Yes, Mew Mew. In my office, obviously working hard. This one's a picture of me and my old man, Hemi, because he purrs so loud. This one's me and the baby Carter. He might be the derpiest cat I've ever met. And in case you think I'm some crazy cat lady, oh no name, I've got a handful of doggos too. Here's my 2 big boys, Cash and Philly, along with Derp Cat. And then here's the bossiest little curmudgeon of a dog, but I love and spoil her rotten, Stella. And did I mention the wife and kids too? LOL. So yeah, I couldn't fathom doing anything else in this world. Any kind of job or whatever that would pull me out of the house on a daily basis just wouldn't work. Anyway, enough about me. This is for you and about you. I know you've got your own reasons for wanting to transform your life, so let's get on with helping you get there, okay? This is the first part of Operation Fast Start that I promise to send you. Link to content. You're going to love it. It's the primer that's going to get the gas flowing and start your sales engine revving. Go have a look right now and let it sink in a little because there's more coming your way tomorrow. Cheers, John. P.S. Just call me Captain Over Deliver, why don't you? Because I'm about to get jiggy with it and let you have part 2 of the Operation Fast Start materials today as well. No waiting. How do you like them apples? Link to content. Tomorrow, I'll shoot you over the 3rd and final Operation Fast Start training gift. So keep an eye out for this subject line, winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right. So in this message, I restated the benefits. I went deeper into who I am with these pictures, right? And one of the things that I kind of do is I make light of myself, talk about our farm, talk about my crazy animals, and I give people just sort of like a window into a little bit of a deeper window into who I am than maybe they saw on my bridge page, right? Also, I deliver the first part of the gift, the Operation Fast Start gift that I mentioned in the previous email. So I'm delivering on that promise to them and working them again through the next steps. Now, in this made up Operation Fast Start gift that I made up for this sequence, what I would do is it would probably be like some kind of free bonus or whatever, which would then redirect to them, hey, if you love this, then you're really ready to dig in. Now you're going to want to go here. And then I would link out to the offer that I've been promoting and want to keep promoting, right? So yes, sort of the crux of this email is about, letting them into my life a little bit more and also getting them the training. Well, that training is going to, lead them back to really the sales process and to the BSL or the sales letter of what I'm promoting. Okay. But we keep kind of getting them deeper into this ecosystem. All right. And you'll notice I don't use, I try to mix up my subject lines a little bit. I don't use necessarily the typical subject lines. I find that for me, those work better. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about those. If you're like, well, that's a weird subject line, I'll talk to you a little bit more about those as we get a little bit deeper into the training here. But so let's move on to this third message of the indoctrination sequence. So this one, again, one day after the last message, right? It's, the day that they sign up, then the following day, and then the following day is the way that it works. So subject, winner, winner, chicken dinner. This time I didn't do a pre-header, just did the subject, and that's cool. Hey, Name, it's your boy John here. And listen, the last couple of days we had some fun together. I like you, I think you like me, and I know we're going to do some great stuff for your business. With that, let me just make sure that we're still moving you towards your goals. In my last email, I sent you 2 pieces of the Operation Fast Start training gift as follows. Module 1, Module 2 with links to both. I also showed you my catitude, so if you didn't get those links or see my pics, you missed out big time. And if you did miss that email, hop into your email inbox search field and do a quick search for the subject line, Operation Fast Start. Give that a once over and then come back. Now, if you did see that message yesterday, or you just want to read it now, or you just went and read it now, that means you're totally caught up and you are ready for the final piece of this actionable Operation Fast Start training. Again, link to the content. Yeah, I totally saved the best for last for you. I know it's going to connect some dots and create some aha moments that you may never have considered before. And better yet, it's going to help you get over your hurdles and finally get moving to success. I recommend grabbing a coffee or tea and getting in a nice, comfy, quiet spot and taking it all in right now. It's time you started making moves towards your best life, and this is step number 1. So what are you waiting for? Head over and check out the last piece of Operation Fast Start right now. And let me know if you need any help or have any questions. You know I got your back. Talk soon. P.S. People often ask me what was the difference maker that took me from $0 in sales to making over $10 million online. I tell you what, I got a shortcut with this. It was the catalyst that sparked daily sales and commissions and put me on the path to my new life. I know it can help you too. So when you're ready to take the next steps, I can't recommend this enough. It's about as plug and play as I've ever seen. Linked to, and that would go to, the offer that you're promoting, which, as you can see, is the first time I've actually done that in this sequence. I've got more cool stuff in store for you too over the coming weeks and months. Now that we're family, I'm always going to be looking out for you. So you just need to keep looking out for my emails. Okay, good. All right. So in this message, basically, we've made sure that they've got all of the content, but we've kind of future paced a couple of things, right? Like we've started more now kind of talking to them about moving them closer to their goals, their objectives, their dreams. We've got them really kind of chewing on that. Yes, I'm driving them the content, but my content, like I said, would also end with, driving them towards the offer, because that's the objective, right? To get them to make a purchase that generates a sale and a commission. But then additionally, at the end, I actually bring it all back around and say, look, and you notice I never talk about amounts of money where it's like, I made this or that or blah, blah. Like I don't get into any of that stuff. I just kind of high level talk about, well, I do talk about my sales, I guess, in this PS here, about making 10 million online, but I'm not talking about like generating, X or Y dollars daily, or right. Like we don't do a whole lot of that here. And in your case, if you haven't had like big sales figures, that's okay. Like you can say something like, people often ask me what was the difference maker that took me from $0 to finally making, commissions online. Like even something like that would work here, right? Like you don't have to make specific promises, is my point, in order to make these work. You just have to talk about, the dream a little bit, right? What are the things that people really want? And if you hit on those points, it can work really, really well for you. And then, of course, like I said, you're kind of future pacing them also to stay on your list and to keep coming back for more, right? And that, to me, is what makes for a really good indoctrination sequence. So now, after this, and, this one's 3 messages. You could go longer if you wanted to, but you also definitely want to start moving people towards like promotional emails, right? So you could do maybe 5 messages of an indoctrination sequence if you want, but like these 3 right here, like I would feel really good about this sequence. I would feel really good about this kind of weaving people into my little ecosystem and becoming one of my tribe, right? You could expand on it a little bit if you wanted to, but no need to get crazy. 3 to 5 messages, probably tops, before you go to the next step. And that next step is where you move them to like a bulk list, right? So if you're using SendLane, you kind of have your main list. People come in, they opt in after they see your landing page and then go to your bridge page, etc. Like that list, you'd set up this indoctrination sequence as an auto response sequence, and then the very last piece of the puzzle in that auto response sequence would be, setting it up so that when that person is done, and I'm sure Judith can help help with the tech stuff on this if need be, but when people are done with that, they get the last message and they've seen that last message, then they get moved to a bulk list, and that bulk list is where you start sending like daily promotional emails. All right, so let's kind of talk about those, the broadcasts, the daily promotional emails. So now I will do 2 messages a day, 5 days a week. Okay, you can try different things. Your list may respond, to you differently. But I have just found that by doing that, I'm maximizing the clicks, but I'm also kind of giving the lists a little bit of like a break, right? So they have like a weekend break. I always find that, they come back strong on Monday and it's good. If you mail 7 days a week, which you can, and I know plenty of people that do, the chances are you're going to speed up the burnout process, and means you're going to have to be driving more leads more often. And what that means is basically you're refreshing your list, right? So you got to spend more on traffic to make sure you're continuing to just regenerate leads. Okay. I just find that sort of that little break kind of helps keeps the people more engaged more often, longer, I should say. And that's really a big part of this is engagement. Now, before I kind of show you some of my little tricks for, like creating these emails, getting the subject lines, etc. One of the things that you're going to want to be, cognizant of is, and I'll talk a little bit about how you can maintain this here in a bit here, but one of the things you're going to be cognizant of is the engagement, that people are opening your emails. And obviously you want them to be clicking, because if they're not clicking your links, they're not buying from you. And that's obviously problematic. But opening means that you're getting your emails sent to people's inboxes, and it means that the email service provider, such as SendLane or Aweber or GetResponse or ActiveCampaign or whoever, is going to be happy with you and keep your account in good standing. So you want to make sure that you're getting 10% open rates or better. That means 10% of the people that the email is delivered to open your message. Okay, that's something you're always going to want to kind of be working towards. And if you can do 20% or more, hey, that's great. But 10% is sort of like your floor. Excuse me, I had to get a drink again. All right, so with that in mind, let's kind of talk about how to come up with some subject lines and some emails, and sort of like, we're just going to go through like the easiest way to do this. Rather than, honestly, like we could have a whole nother course about creating emails from scratch, right? Because there's a lot that could go into this from scratch. But I thought, for the sake of brevity and for the sake of being able to, you could turn this around today. Like you could get off this call and go, boom, I'm going to go do this right now. We'll talk about some swiping techniques. Swiping means you see someone else's subject line, you see someone else's email, you like it, and you make it your own. It doesn't mean you copy and paste exactly word for word. That's not swiping, that's stealing or plagiarism, and that can get you into trouble. Now, chances are, if you were to plagiarize an email from another internet marketer in the internet marketing space, chances are nothing will happen, because it's unlikely that person would see it or it'd get back to them. But you're still legally not supposed to do that. And some people have gotten into legal issues because of that, right? So we don't want to do that. We don't want to just take people's stuff word for word. However, you can't copyright ideas, right? So the way to do this quickly and as easily as possible is to swipe people's ideas. So first, let's kind of talk about subject lines, because to me, Sure, the body is important. Getting the click is important because no clicks, no sales. But to me, nothing else matters if the subject line doesn't work, right? Because people aren't opening. Now you don't have people seeing your email at all, much less clicking. And you're maybe on the radar of your email service provider, SendLane, GetResponse, Aweber, ActiveCampaign, et cetera, because your engagement is not good. And that drags down their numbers and they don't like that, right? So subject lines. Now, I think for a lot of people, this is, one of the harder things to do, to create subject lines that are interesting, that are engaging, and that get people to open. So let me talk about a couple of techniques that I have found that have helped me when I'm, sort of staring at a blank page going, what the hell do I write? To create good, fun subject lines that work. Two things. One, I talked about swiping in general. I would recommend that you sign up, and whether you do it in your own, email account, or you create like a Gmail spam account. Like I've got one I call my spam account, and literally just it gets a gazillion emails a day. Whether you do that or put it in your own email and filter things by folder, because you're organized that way, it doesn't matter. But sign up for every top marketer you can. And then as you're like in Facebook and seeing ads for various products, sign up for that stuff. A lot of people won't do that, don't want to do that because they're worried about getting email. Well, now you shouldn't be worried about getting email. You should want to get a lot more email, because what you're going to be doing now is looking at these messages as they come in and going, oh, wow, that caught my attention. Oh, I love that. That subject line's great. Or, oh, that's funny. That one worked for me, right? Like it got me. So that's one thing. Then two, of course, if the subject line gets you, you're going to have email messages like with the body where you go, oh, okay, yeah, this looks like a solid email that might get clicks. Now you have a message you can swipe as well, right? So that's step number one. Sign up for everybody, right? Misha's got some great emails. Sign up for Ryan Dice's digital marketer, Frank Kern's stuff, whatever, right? Like you see these things on Facebook, you see all of these messages, and you're not looking at these things to buy them, right? So you're just looking at the mindset of what are all these other marketers doing in order to get opens and get clicks. And when something resonates with you, then that's your sort of, gut check to go, oh, if it resonated with me, probably we're going to resonate with other people. Let me try to make my own version of it. Excuse me. Losing my voice. Sorry, guys. So here I've got a screenshot up. This is a handful of messages that I received over about a week. And I've trimmed out a large number of them. I get just a crap ton of emails on a daily basis. But what's probably different about this one is, yeah, there's a couple of like marketers in there, but also I've found some other kind of cool, unique opportunities for good subject lines. One, big box retailers, Best Buy. Well, Wayfair is not a big box, they're online, but Wayfair, Targets. If you buy things from these companies, you probably get promotional emails from them. And again, now is an opportunity for you to start finding good marketing ideas. So I want you to start looking at these promotional emails, not as a hassle or oh crap, more shit in my inbox, pardon my French. I want you to look at them as, now what are these guys doing that works, right? And like Wayfair does a really good job. Best Buy's had some great ones that I've seen where it's just kind of different stuff. Like maybe it's like lightning bolts. One from Best Buy over the holidays was like lightning bolts, fa la 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 la, flash sale, all caps, lightning bolts. I saw that and I was like, oh, boom, I have to make that into my own. So I did. I made like my own kind of version of that. It wasn't fa la 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 flash sale. It was like fa la 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 money, all caps and lightning bolts, right? So I took the idea, made it my own, and it was like totally different. And it worked really well, right? So big box stores, online stores, start looking at those subject lines. I mean, you're not going to really get any material out of the body of that, message, because, Best Buy is not selling, how to make money online, but just that subject line right now, right? Like that fa la 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 one. I saw it, I loved it, I used it. Okay, that's one other source besides marketers to look at. But here's a new one, and oh my God, guys, I love this. Now, Misha had a slide up earlier with Trump and Conor McGregor, and kind of talked about, sort of 50% of the people will hate you, 50% of the people love you if you're polarizing, and that's a good thing as a marketer. Well, you can see if you look at my subject lines, and hopefully this isn't too small for you guys. You can see from the subject lines in this screenshot that I've got that some of them are from conservative publications, and some of them are from liberal publications. I I get messages from both sides, and I love all of them because these guys hire some really good marketing dudes to get money. And they're not all like, I mean, some of them are like, fundraising, some of them are just selling products or whatever, but these guys get some really good marketers. So like, let me kind of just go through these here. So here's this one about should Joe Biden pardon Donald Trump. Well, guess what? I actually don't really care about that because that's not going to do anything for me for an email. But this little yes, no, and then if I looked at the whole subject line, I'd have to open up the email for you guys, and I don't have that handy. But and then it says yes, no, and then it's like, let us know here, right? So this looks like sort of a checkbox, yes or no. And this would be a subject line that I might try, like yes or no, brackets, are you interested in, whatever, question mark brackets. Like I would try something like that and see if it works. This one, checking in. It's a little bit more like sounds personal, like, hey, I'm just checking in. I would try that out. This one, 3 easy screenshot tips. I might say 3 easy tips to get paid this week, right? This one, crying so hard. I'm crying because you didn't, so maybe I'd use a subject line and a pre-header. I'm crying because you didn't listen. And then let's go back to, let me find more of like the Democrat and Republican ones. This one, here's a Democrat. We're finished. The D is cut off, but yeah, I mean, I might say, I'm almost finished. And then the email, it would be kind of a mysterious one. And then the email might allude to, I almost quit marketing until I found this. So there's all kinds of cool opportunities. And one thing about these, so sign up to, sign up to these lists for fundraising for both sides. You'll get some great ideas. Here, sort of this urgent with the siren. I like that. Alert with the siren. I like that. Shameful. I'm ashamed. I was so broke that I was ashamed, right? Like shameful is a great word to have in a subject line. My mom was always in and out of prison. We could talk about being in a prison, because you couldn't go anywhere because you didn't have any money. So a lot of ideas can start flowing when you're looking at other people's stuff. But what I'm talking about here is kind of even, yes, to sign up for marketing, newsletters, emails, etc., and start looking at those as opportunities, but also kind of get outside of that box, because some of these big box retailers, like I talked about, Best Buy, Target, Wayfair is great, but also like start looking at some of these left and right leaning, either fundraising sites or newsletters or whatever, because they've got some great material to pull from. The only thing I will say is about your survey is attached. That's another good one. Oh, fear is a bitch. Yeah, people love that when you swear in subject lines. But the only thing that I'll say about sort of the political ones is this. A lot of times what they do is they make the name like sort of the subject line, right? Like, so here, total panic, like that might not be the subject line. That may be the from name, but that's okay. Even though they do that for whatever reason, like they change the from name every time, even though they do that, it could still be like a really good subject line. So here, the from name, instead of ClickFunnels HQ, is total panic. And then the subject line is this, but I'm just looking at this as sort of, that's how they do it. Like they capture your attention with the from name, almost like a subject line. So just kind of keep an eye on that, but really some cool alternative kind of resources for you to begin pulling from. And you heard me kind of spitballing as I was going through it. There's all kinds. Oh, here's a great one. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene, Revenge. Now, again, that's the name, the from name on this, but what a great subject line opportunity. Revenge. And you could just, I mean, revenge is just a word. So you could use that word if you wanted to as a subject line. No one's going to accuse you of copyright infringement on that. It's just a word. But what a great option as a subject line, right? And then maybe the email for that is, they laughed at me when I was broke, but I got the best revenge because now I'm not, and I'm doing this. Click here and get your revenge. You know what I mean? Like, there's just all kinds of options out there where you can take other people's ideas, just kind of, you know, tweak them a little bit and turn them into your own. Okay? All right. So that's subject lines. So remember, subject line, that's like the, you know, that's the, what do they say is important in sales? Like the 30-second elevator pitch. Like that's your elevator pitch. Yeah. So people see that, and one of two things is going to happen. They're going to be like, okay, yeah, I'm interested. And they're going to open your email, or they're going to click away. We want 10+% of our people to open. So you got to mix it up. You got to try some different things. And this, hopefully, you can utilize this idea to find more of these ideas faster and easier than just kind of thinking it out. Like, as me, I like to think that I'm a fairly creative dude. And, you know, if you put me in front of a blank page, I'm going to put something out there at some point. But if I was to try to think of like yes or no, like this, even the word revenge, right? Like in all caps, like a lot of this stuff, like it's not something I would just spit out, right? Like it might take me several hours to come up with a bunch of good subject lines. And even then I wouldn't spit all of this out. But here, just looking at my promotions tab in my Gmail, I've got, you know, like 10 really good ideas that I would actually use. Okay, so that's sort of subject lines. Now let's talk about email, you know, body copy. So again, this isn't gonna be like an extensive copy training here for email copy, because there could be so many things that we would talk about. But what I am gonna do is show you a live swipe. I talked to you already about, you know, getting on other marketers' lists. Yes, checking out their subject lines, but also checking out their email copy. And then if you see something that you like, go after it, try it out, right? Make your own version of it. So to me, that's sort of like anybody can do this today with swiping. Yeah. Like you don't have to be a good writer. You don't have to be super technical. You don't have to be like super experienced. If you see something that resonates with you, you should be able to make it your own today, right? And that's sort of the easiest way to get into email copywriting, I think.